What is the tea, y'all? We are here talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 8, the latest episode. Ooh, y'all know I'm so bad with the episode numbers, but I want to say it's 8. And I don't know the title of the episode right now. Let me look it up. I'm going to look it up. It just gets so tiring doing the work. Like, it seems like nobody wants to work these days. Oh, that's easy. So it's called You're a Winner, Baby. Cool. So yeah, the challenge in the name of the episode is You're a Winner, Baby. And essentially it's a design challenge, which I love. Those are my faves. And the girls are going to be making designs interpreted by past All-Stars winners. And the All-Stars winners that they are going to be drawing reference from, or let's say inspiration from, are Shea Coulee, Monet Exchange, Trinity the Tuck, Kylie Sonique, Love, and Trixie Mattel. And I love all five of those queens. It's actually some of my favorite queens in there. So that's exciting. And I like that it was all Stars winners. I guess that's like an obvious pick, but it stuck out to me because I'm like, it's not just regular winners, All Star winners. So great. Maybe I'm easily impressed. Because LALA won last week, she gets to assign the roles to everybody. I was sitting there wishing that not necessarily she would be shady, but that she would mix it up a little. Like, not make it super predictable. It's only 5 queens left, so it's not a big thing, I guess. But I feel like there were some, for me, there were some obvious choices that I thought would pan out that I was just hoping wouldn't, just because I wanted to see a challenge. So, for example, like, I kind of figured like that Trixie would be an easy-ish thing for Jimbo to do, right? I kind of figured that LALA would lean towards like a Monet or a Shea, right? Or I kind of, so, there were, I don't know. It didn't give that at the end of the day, which is fine. It's nice. I don't think that she really gave a rationale between how she chose. She did. She said that she chose nicely and she wanted the girls to take that into accountability. That's fine. But I think that it could have been more of a challenge. I wish that it would have been. Like, maybe if Rue would have chose it, but whatever. So basically, she does the choosing. LaLa Ri chooses Shea Coulee, which is fun. Love Shea. For Candy, she chooses Monet Exchange. For Jimbo, Trixie, obvious. And for Jessica Wilde, she chooses Kylie Sonique Love. Alexis gets Trinity the Tuck. These are cool choices. I guess the only two that stuck out to me as being like, oh, I wonder what it's gonna give fully. Like, I didn't have any understanding at all of what it might give. Is Alexis doing Trinity, and that's about it. I mean, I guess maybe Jessica Wilde doing Kylie. I didn't necessarily know. Kylie's like a body girl, right? So I didn't necessarily know what aesthetic the girls would invoke to give Kylie. So, I more so would have seen, if it was going to be an obvious thing, I more so would have seen, like, Candy doing Kylie, because Candy does a lot of the, like, a lot of leg out type of thing. So I like that she didn't necessarily get that. Her getting Monet, I guess we'll say, was kind of a surprise to me. So I guess I would say Candy getting Monet, Jessica getting Kylie, and then Alexis getting Trinity. So that was cool. Not really much to talk about in the workroom. I mean, the dialogue was weird, and I guess I would say the edit was weird in terms of, I guess there was this, I like that, I mean, we only have 5 queens left, right? So nothing but time for story. So I do like that they kind of got into everyone's look individually, and you could see them kind of trying to pull it together. It was super fun seeing all the materials that were in the box, and I do think that the materials in each box were representative of each queen. It was interesting seeing them, like, come up with the concept and decide what they wanted to do. And I like that they were clear about the fact, I don't remember who asked, but I know that Alexis answered. But somebody asked, like, are we supposed to be looking like those queens? And Alexis was like, no. And I'm so glad that she made that distinction. Because I do feel like in past seasons where they've done this challenge, the queens get caught up in their head and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to look like that queen, as opposed to I'm just like invoking the energy, the mood, the the voom of that queen. Like, I'm just using materials that they would use, but I'm making my own look. I just want to give the essence, right? So I'm glad that she did that. That was nice, and I think it helps for the viewers as well that just don't necessarily understand the challenge, or maybe they've never seen it before. So that was fun. The edit is it was weird just because, like, I guess you just don't know. I had forgotten. Like, I didn't love Jimbo's look for the last design that they did when they did the bag ball, and I didn't love Jessica's either. I still was under the impression that they, like, I knew Jimbo made costumes, so I knew she knew how. And then Jessica, I knew that she could pull out a look, right? But so I didn't necessarily think that they would struggle per se, but I didn't know that they would what they would pull out. And then I guess, I mean, the edit was giving, it wasn't giving typical struggle, right? Like, it wasn't necessarily saying like, oh well, Jimbo is struggling, but they tried to push this narrative of like she has bad time management and they didn't know if she would finish. I wasn't buying that, so I don't know if I thought it was necessary, but whatever. Jessica, I appreciated that edit because we do watch a lot of Drag Race, and it's like, oh, when the girls don't know how to sew, a disaster, disaster. But she's like, I'm gonna hot glue it and I'm gonna turn it. It's gonna be fine. So that was a fun edit to watch, I think, and I like watching Jessica work because she was super serious about it. I just like watching, like, she's not like the biggest. She has a personality, of course, but she's not the biggest and the loudest in the room. But I like watching her be focused on the competition and knowing that she wants to do well. I think it's fun. So I liked watching her work. LALA as well. Like, LALA really wanted to do well, and she had made her dress 3 times. Like, I thought that was cool to see how committed she was because she's not really a sewing girl. You know, she finished the dress, she tried it on, she didn't like how it looked, and she's like, I'm gonna make another one. So I like that. Candy, she, you know, we got the edit of her messing up her dress, but then she had to go fix it. So yeah, you know, like, it was interesting. Just not much to talk about, you know. So we'll get right into the runways. First, I have Jessica Wilde. Similar to the bag ball, the look that she made, I'm not in love with it. It doesn't look bad at all. But I'm not super excited about it, like, you know, like the judges were, and like the girls were super like congratulatory over it. It's not like wowing me or anything. I can't say that it gives, and again, it's not supposed to give Kylie, I guess, like the essence of Kylie. I can't say that I would look at this and say, oh, that's like Kylie Sonique Love fabric type of feel, type of vibe. I can't say that. But I think that it is noteworthy that she pretty much made this with a hot glue gun. Like, I think it's great she turned it. At the end of the day, she did make a fully complete look. She did, without sewing it. So that's great. At the end of the day, it's not something that I will wear, and it's not something I'm in love with, but she did it. So she accomplished what needed to be accomplished. But I guess I want to understand, like, why the judges be like, you look so beautiful. I'm like, I mean, she did the challenge. But I don't know that my critique would be like, oh, you look so beautiful. Like, she did the challenge. I don't. Jimbo, this. I mean, I might as well record the same clip and keep saying it each. Like, just put it in each video. Like, Jimbo ate it. At the end of the day, like, this is great. This is great. I feel like I can look at this and I will be like, Trixie Mattel fabric. Like, I feel like the floral and the pink were perfect choices. I mean, her deciding to do a face kini, that made me nervous because when they did the face kini challenge and whatever season that was, I just didn't love it, and I was like, what the heck is a face kini? But I think it was cool that she voluntarily decided that she wanted to do a face kini. I like the little face that she did. It's campy, right? And Trixie Mattel is campy, so, like, you know, with the little dots, and it just looks amazing. Like, the fact that she made this is so cool. So yeah, she ate it at the end of the day. I also didn't understand the edit where they were like acting afraid with her not wearing makeup. I got it because that was a thing, right? Like, when they did the original face kini challenge, they were noting that, like, you know, you should be painted. Even other seasons, like when the queens wear stuff on their face, they should still be painted underneath. But I feel like she was clearly describing it and saying my full face is going to be covered, and she was showing us the fabric. So I'm like, we're not going to see her face. So what's the point of that edit? But whatever. She looks great. Candy, I had no issue with it. I mean, I feel like we had so much time, right? So she said that it was a simple gown 13 times. Like, we knew that. And, you know, I think it looks fine. I do agree with the critique that the fit is weird. Like it does feel like the chest is all the way up here, and like the length is weird. Like all of that. Yes, I agree. It does. It definitely looks like it looks, but it's not a bad look. I think she looks pretty. I guess I mean like, she could have did more with like an earring just to like dress it up a little bit. Maybe gave us a little necklace or something. I guess it's super simple, but it's not a bad look. She did the challenge just like Jessica Wilde did, you know. And I know she has some technical difficulties or whatever, but it looks fine. I don't 100% understand the sponge that she came out with. You know, I guess I could say I could see. I don't know if I would say it evokes Monet or gives a Monet essence, but I could see Monet wearing a similar dress. Actually, Monet has worn like a. I don't know where it was. I think I just saw it on her Instagram, but she wore like a simple dress, kind of like this before. So, whatever. I think Lala Ree. I'm proud of her, right? Because she's not a sewing girl. She did the challenge like the other girls did. Some of the stylistic choices I never understand. I the fabric is fine, right? But I don't understand the orange and the blue mixture, and I don't understand. I didn't mind the asymmetrical sleeves, but I do agree like with that one sleeve that comes down, like it's still kind of a quarter length. It doesn't go all the way down to her hand. And then even with the one that's on the shoulder, it comes a little bit past the shoulder. So it's just like, girl, you could have took that piece of that shoulder and put it up on that sleeve, and then we could have left the blue out of it completely. But I think what happened is because she joked about it a little that she ran out of fabric. So maybe she needed the blue because she messed it up, or she felt like the blue added a little razzle dazzle. But I hate the blue. I feel like if she had taken it somewhere different, then it would have been way better. But it's a fine look for her to have made it and not be a seamstress. And this is like the third dress that she made. So I think she did okay. The wig is falling off her head. I don't understand that. And then we got this purple lip again. Y'all know I hate that purple lip. But she did fine. Hands down, I'm gonna say, I mean, Alexis looked the best. Like, I love Jimbo's look, but Alexis looked the best. She looks gorgeous. Like, I love this hair color on her. I think she's worn it before as well, and I really liked it. Maybe, or maybe I just been looking at this one a lot. But yeah, I really like this hair color on her. I love the gown. It looks beautiful. It looks like something that she had made for her. It really does. And she was talking about how she spray painted the tulle. So I love the commitment to it's a beautiful color blue that she spray painted. The headpiece is great. The makeup is great. She looks amazing. And you could tell that she was super confident about the look, as she should have been. So she looked great. Obviously, we don't have any Fame Games looks because this is a design challenge and they didn't have the opportunity to design anything. So with that being said, I do agree that Alexis won this week at the end of the day. Even when like Jimbo came out and I loved her look, I still thought about it. I'm like, I wouldn't give it to her though. Two reasons. Like, I just feel like Alexis deserved a win by now. Even though Alexis isn't my fave, I still think she did an amazing job. And then second reason is just that. I think she did an amazing job. And you could tell that she worked really hard on it. They didn't really touch on her much when we were in the workroom. Like, they were focused on the other girls a lot. So it's fun to see what she came up with, because I don't feel like we got the BTS of it. Like, I don't know what was happening behind the scenes and in her head. But now that I'm looking at it, it's beautiful. So I think she did a great job, and I agree that she won the challenge. We then get the lip sync assassin, who is Nikki Doll, who I love. I don't necessarily understand the lip sync assassin choices this season because I don't recognize a few of these queens as lip sync assassins, but okay. She looked really good. I didn't really love the lip sync song either. I mean, it's different. She looked really good. Alexis looked really good. And the lip sync was fun. Not one that I need to go back and watch, but it was fun. Alexis did not get assassinated in this lip sync. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I agree that she won. And yeah. And, we get to the bottom two now. We're back to the bottom two. I didn't talk about that. I will agree that the bottom two would be Lala and Candy. I will agree with that. I know that there has been so much discourse behind the choice that Alexis ultimately made to send LaLa Ri home. I don't subscribe to any of it, and I'm not excited by any of it. At the end of the day, Candy and Lala had the same track record, and but Candy was doing way better in the competition at the end of the day. Like, her looks were better, her, she looked better. I'm sorry, like her looks were better at the end of the day. Her runway looks were better. At the end of the day, that would have carried me. Like I'm more excited to see her on the runway and see what she does in the competition than I am to see Lala. I love them both. They both have the same track record. But in my head, in my opinion, Candy's doing better. And then I don't get it actually. I'm not even gonna say that. Like I understand people's argument that Lala saved Alexis Michelle and sent Kahana home, and they kept replaying this clip, and Alexis even acknowledged and re-brought up, like, I told you I wouldn't forget that you saved me, and I haven't forgotten about it. Fine, but listen to what she's saying. She said I didn't forget it, and she didn't. But that doesn't mean she's going to save you, and it doesn't mean she's going to throw you a bone at the end of the day. It's not like she promised something that she didn't, do. So I just don't agree with that discourse, and I agree that Lala should have gone home. There was also a tweet that Alexis made. I guess she was getting a lot of backlash, and she seems like somebody that cares a lot about that. So I think she was trying to appease the audience, and she tweeted basically like, it was a hard decision, and I think she said something like she made a mistake, and she wished she could have made a different decision, which I thought was a weird cop out. But whatever, girl, that's your business. At the end of the day, Candy deserved to stay. I don't think that Candy really cared about Alexis saying that. She did tweet and say F my drag, but I think she was just kikiing. But girl, whatever, who cares? Nobody cares what y'all think about that. Candy's doing better than Lala in the competition, and she deserved to stay. And Alexis never said that she was going to keep Lala, so I don't get the argument. So, whatever. I'm happy with who we have now in the Final Four. I think, like I said, I thought it was a good top five, so I naturally think it's a good top four. I think the people that are here right now deserve to be here. And I'm still feeling like Jimbo's going to win, so that's where we're at. And yeah, that was the episode. I'm sorry it's so short, but it's only 5 queens. It was a design challenge. There wasn't really much else to say, not much else to give. And that was the episode. And yeah, so I will see y'all in the next one.